Joining us now here, Malik Autry, Auburn 2025 defensive line commit, of course, from Opelika. Malik, Big Cat weekend last weekend. Sounds like it was a blast. Multiple commits. Sounds like it was a constant party. All of you guys were going live on Instagram. What stood out to you about that visit and having all these uncommitted guys on campus with you?
It was great. I mean, that was my first time. You know, I got there early, about 10:30. I met with Hugh Freeze. That's probably my first time sitting out his office. Got committed at such a weird time. It was like February, it was like January 28th, and then the dead period came during February. So then I came back in March, but it was spring practice stuff, so I never really got a chance to sit down with him. So Big Cat morning started off great. You know, I sat down with him, had a good conversation, you know, just about me and him and how we're going to build this connection because August 1st, you know, you can start communicating. So since August 1st, I've been communicating with him back and forth a lot, all the coaches in general. So just working on my relationship with him, and that really kickstarted the Big Cat weekend for me. And then, you know, seeing all my, you know, you meet these different guys at different visits and stuff when you start back in like 8th grade. So we all have a relationship, you know, seeing them on campus, and everybody had a great time. I think the recruit staff they did a great job setting it up, you know, with the golf carts, the scavenger hunt, the pool party. It was all meant to have fun. I feel like it brought everybody together. You know, you talk about football and meetings and stuff a lot at every visit. So I feel like that was a great time to have everybody on there just having fun, like just forgetting the football part of it, but actually seeing what it's like to be at Auburn, you know, having in the pool, the players, coaches, you know, throwing freeze in the pool. It just showed like one big family. So I think it was a great event and a great opportunity to bring in a lot of guys.
Were you in the group of guys that threw Coach Freeze in the pool?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We were there. Yes, sir.
Well, I've seen a few videos of y'all actually throwing him in the pool. What happened after that? Was he just laughing because he was so happy Perry just flipped, or did he give you guys a hard time? What happened after y'all threw him in the pool?
I think he was just happy. You know, when I first saw them start to pick him up, I was worried because, you know, he's an older coach. I was like, yeah, they was that smart, but he can swim. Once I saw him start swimming, I was like, all right, we're good. He wasn't too mad. I think after something big like that, I don't think he can be too mad. So hey.
Yeah, that's fun, man. That's fun. What's a one-on-one meeting in Coach Freeze's office like? I mean, of course, don't go into too specific of details or anything like that, but what's the general spirit of that conversation?
You know, you just let me know, you know, because right now, back when he came, he had a late start on 24, so he really wasn't focused on 25 class. So now he can kind of sit down, you know, actually talk to me about the 25 class. He just let me know how important I was to the program and how they really appreciated me going ahead and committing super early and trying to get started in the 25 class. So that was really the main, really just let me know that he really appreciated me, you know, because he's been so focused on 24, he started pretty late, and he's doing a great job so far. So I think they don't end off way better than people expected them to the 24-25 class. But, you know, he just let me know that we're going to get the 25 class started, and us in the 24 class is going to be the main stone of, like, how his career will go at Auburn. So, you know, just let me know how important I am. Let me know, like, what to expect in the future. You know, he has a thing called the Freeze 5, you know, how he communicates with you every week. He's been sending me inspirational quotes, you know, just telling me that we're going to try to build this relationship to get this 25 class going. So, that's the main thing.
That's great, man. That's great. Has the energy from since when you committed, which was earlier this year, versus the energy around the program now, does it seem different? Because just covering the team, it seems like there's more energy now than a few months ago, but you're more in it, right? I mean, you're a part of a committed class a year out, but you're still certainly in the middle of it. What does that look like? Is it different from your perspective?
I would say so. I mean, when I first committed back in January, you know, I felt like it was something there from that was way before all the commits and everything. I felt like it was something there back then. And then, you know, you go to 8A, it was all cool. And I didn't go to Auburn from April 8th, which was 8A, until, I guess, Big Cat Day. So I hadn't been for a good little minute. I had been to some other schools, saw some other campuses. But coming back to Auburn, I will say, though, the energy was totally different, I guess, than before. Consider how long, I had been there in a minute. So coming back, it really just reminded me, it showed me the difference between, you know, those coaches and stuff. Like they really, I think they all got settled now. I feel like the energy was just great. I think going forward, you know, I think it's just going to keep getting better and better. But just seeing the growth from that April 8th to the July 29th, I think it was great. So I definitely can feel the difference for sure.
Who are you closest to? Is Jeremy Garrett, the defensive line coach, your main point of contact?
Mostly Jerry McGarry and Coach King Will was really the guy from the start. I guess when I first came, he came to and he was the first guy to he opened the doors for me when I first came back in back in January 28th or whatever. But
okay,
I probably communicate with Coach Garrett the most over the phone, texting, calling. But yeah, but both of those are my guys though. But I probably communicate with Coach Garrett more.
Sure. So I went out to Opelika spring game to watch you, and you did not disappoint for sure. This season, it seems like they're using you primarily as an interior defensive lineman. Is that what you want to be? Is that where you expect to be at the college level as well?
We probably like a 3 technique interior lineman. I think it just depends on how much bigger I get. I'm like my weight can go up and down. Back in the spring, I was probably like 290. I could go from 290 to 295, but this summer I've been trying to cut back, so I've been running around 283, 285, somewhere around that area. So I feel like the more my body develops, I go on a real, weight program, real diet, and getting to college level. It just depends on how much, And I feel like I got the athleticism to play the end or the interior. So I probably play the 3 technique, rushing from the big out. Not so much of a nose, but more just like a 3 technique player. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I mean, the value of being able to rush the passer from a 3 technique or a 4-eye. Yeah, I mean, the NFL, I mean, not to think too far in the future, but I mean, that's so valuable, as far as being able to create pressure from the interior. Everybody talks about these defensive ends and these edge rushers, but if you can push the pocket from the interior, I mean, it changes the game.
It changes the game for sure. And, some schools don't think they want me to play in, like Georgia will think I'll be more of a defensive end just because their interior guys are so much bigger. Like most of Georgia's interior guys are 350 and above. I probably won't ever be able to get that big, so that's why they recruit me more as the end. But most schools like Auburn, Florida, really want me to play at the 3 tech position, and Alabama, of course.
Sure. So what specifically, now you're starting your junior year, what specifically are you working on right now to kind of take that next step as a football player? What's the next step for Malik Autry in developing as a player?
I think my next step, I didn't really have the season I wanted to last season. So, I still thank God, still got, the blessings and the commitment, and I still got offered, even though I didn't have the season I want to have last year. I feel like some people are still waiting to see that game film that they're looking for with me. So I feel like this year is really my year just to show, what I have in store, because I feel like I don't really have a game film right now. So I'm just trying to put out all my talents on the table so everybody can see, just going forward. So there won't be no question, like, because some people still question, about me, like, who is this kid? Because I kind of came up out of nowhere,
Sure.
So, yeah, this year just really
as much of a guy that's your size could come out of nowhere.
Yeah, exactly. So, this year I'm just working to have a monster season, just really show out my explosiveness and my speed, chase down the quarterback. I had knee surgery, I guess, my 9th grade year. So 10th grade year, my knee was kind of shaky as far as like trying to gain the strength back. But I've been working on my leg strengthening and stuff this whole summer. So we're just trying to get that explosiveness back and just display that for everybody to see.
And you got to think, okay, now this is another full season under your belt, is big time Alabama high school football. I mean, experience is so key with something like this. And then the fact that you're going to be able to use this experience for the following season as well. I mean, the upside for you is tremendous. So excited to see what you put together. So, man, thank you so much for your time, Malik. This has been awesome. And best of luck with this season. And would love to talk to you maybe at the midway point or at the end of your season to kind of do a little update, if you don't mind.
All right, yes, sir, for sure. Yes, sir, always. Thank you for having me. Just happy to be on here. Happy to answer any questions you have. So, yeah.
Of course. Of course. Hey, be sure to check out any written content that I have at auburndaily.com. And until then, this has been Locked On Auburn.